This episode, we're going to be talking about Detroit Pistons, the next team on our trade history podcast.
So we're on the Pistons. Last episode was Denver Nuggets. And with that being said, what is number five, your choice for worst Pistons trades in franchise history?
It has to be the Chauncey Billups trade, the one where the Pistons traded Chauncey Billups to the Denver Nuggets.
It was Chauncey Billups, Antonio McDyess, and Czech Som. Pistons only got Allen Iverson. That's it.
I chose this as probably the worst one just because they're doing great. They got good records. They're playing well, and they're like, you know what? Let's just rebuild. We're winning, but let's give up on this and try it a different way. If you look it up, the Pistons had a tough time in the beginning of their whole franchise, and then they had a really good time, and then they had a bad time, and then they had this time with Chauncey Billups, Ben Wallace, Rasheed Wallace, Rip Hamilton, Tayshaun Prince as their core. And then this time was six Eastern Conference Finals, which is insane. And they won an NBA championship. What else can you ask for? But I guess they felt some type of pressure. Even though they won one of those championships, then they decided to trade Chauncey Billups. And the reason why this is really bad is because of everything else that happened. Because they just had re-signed Chauncey Billups for a long-term contract. And then they just trade him. And it's like, what was that for? Why'd you even do it? And then Allen Iverson, his contract ended in a year after that. Pretty much this deal, why I think it's even worse is because this was kind of a plan to get a player in free agency because they wanted to free up cap space like everybody did for 2010. So 2010 was this whole thing about this whole draft class was about to become free agents. And the Detroit Pistons were part of that. They could have avoided that by having already one of those players previously drafted. They could have had a super dynasty, like crazy ass team. And just because of that one mistake, they ended up doing this stupid deal, trading Chauncey Billups away.
I agree. Like this trade was pretty horrible. The season before this happened, 07-08 season is Chauncey Billups last year with the Pistons. They go 59-23. I didn't even know they were that good. The year they won the ring, they didn't even win 59 games. They won 54. The year after that, when they were defending their title, they won 54 as well. So this is past those title years, and they're winning even more games from what you're saying, those six Eastern Conference Finals years. I'm pretty sure this is the second best record the Pistons ever had. They had one year where they went 64-18, which is crazy. That was that year they sent four Pistons to the All-Star game. This was probably their second best season. I'm pretty sure about that. And it like when I was doing research, it caught me by surprise because I'm thinking the easy way out is to say, okay, all these guys are getting old now. Rasheed, Chauncey's been in the league for 10 plus years, Rip, etc. But you can't even say that. 59 wins. They were still playing really good, and they made the Eastern Conference Finals and lost to the Celtics in six, which isn't even anything to really be upset about. Like Boston was insane that year. It was the first year with Ray Allen and Paul Pierce, KG. Celtics won, I think, 66 in their own right, won the ring. So that's not something that you're like, oh man, we lost to the Celtics. Like everyone did. You know, the Celtics were the last team standing. So they were really good there last year with Chauncey Billups. At that offseason comes, he's out, in comes Allen Iverson. And then here's like a little comparison. They go from 59 wins, Chauncey Billups last year with Detroit, to 39 wins with Allen Iverson on the team the very next year. A 20-win drop off, which is crazy, man. Like AI, we know he's one of the most celebrated players ever. They say culturally what he did for the league, dress code, the swag he brought, MVP 2001, I believe, took the Sixers to the finals on his back. And even AI's last year in Denver, if you let me see, I don't think I have his stats here, but when I was looking them up, they weren't bad. But for some reason, he goes to Detroit and man, 20 wins less. And it's something about Chauncey Billups. I don't know what it is. Past those, I want to say first 4 years, wherever he went, they just won. Detroit, soon as he goes there, they turn it around. Six straight Eastern Conference Finals, like you said. After this, he goes to Denver. They do good. I'll get to that in a little bit, right? But 20 wins less. Breaking down this trade, Allen Iverson plays 54 games for the Pistons, and he's gone. He's gone after the season. Like you said, last year of his contract, he's gone. So you get rid of Chauncey for 54 games of AI. They made it to the playoffs that year. First round exit against Cleveland, sweep. And that's it for the Allen Iverson era in Detroit. So very underwhelming. We can both agree on that. Nuggets final season with Allen Iverson on the team, swept in the first round by the Lakers. Nuggets first season with Chauncey Billups on the team, they go to the Western Conference Finals, losing six to the Lakers. Basically, it's just like AI went to the Pistons, they did way worse. Chauncey goes to Denver, they do way better. And this trade really set Detroit back for years, man. This was November 2008. Right now we're in 2021. So I want to say that's maybe 12, 13 seasons have gone since this trade. The Pistons have had two winning seasons, a 44 win season and a 41 win season. I don't even consider the 41 win season a winning one. You literally broke even, 41 up, 41 down. I really consider it one winning season since this Chauncey Billups trade, and just so much turmoil that's happened. They never got back, or they've never gone back to even being slightly competitive. And it's crazy, man, because Joe Dumars, bro, when he was with the Pistons, those early 2000s, this dude was nailing it, man. Every move, besides Darko, right? Besides Darko, it is what it is with the Darko thing. But every move he did, the Grant Hill for Ben Wallace, the Jerry Stackhouse for Rip, like Jerry Stackhouse was putting up 30 and he traded him for Rip, signing Chauncey Billups, drafting Tayshaun Prince. This dude was nailing everything. Put together a team, won the ring, and then somewhere in the late 2000s, like this dude just whatever that mojo was, just lost it, dude. So many bad decisions, and you could really say it started with letting Ben Wallace go in free agency, but this is right up there with it, man. This was the one that just really, they just started sinking after this, and they never got out of it. So I agree with you 100%, man. I had this one as well. I didn't know where I ranked it, but I definitely had it.
For the Ben Wallace thing, do you know if they had a chance to match that offer? Because I found out that they did offer Ben Wallace a significant amount. I think it was 3 years, 48 million. And then the Bulls came in and offered 12 million more, 3 years, 60 million, I think. So do you know if they offered like a match, or they were just like, look, like we're not gonna offer you that, like just go.
Yeah, I think it was basically they just didn't want to match it, if I
And they
remember
messed up
correctly.
if that's the truth, like if they just didn't want to match it, they just messed up, man. They should have matched that. If they wanted to be a competitive team, they should have matched that.
Yeah, 100%, man. Like Detroit was Detroit was nasty, bro. Like they're when they especially when they got Rashid, their defense was crazy, man. Like back-to-back finals appearances, 1-1. The year after they lose to San Antonio, I'm telling you, they win 64, bro. 64 and 18. I want to say they lost to Miami that year in the playoffs. That was the year Miami won it. And then that offseason, Ben Wallace is gone. And they were staying competitive, but like just Ben Wallace, bro. Like when he was gone, it just wasn't the same. They were still winning games, but just Big Ben wasn't there. But yeah, that was definitely another bad decision on Joe Dumars' part.